Hey, this is Steven from LegitTechTutorials, and welcome back to Beginning Maya. So today we're going to work on some more animation. We're going to work on following a path, so drawing a path, and then making our spaceship come in on that path. Alright, so here we have our environment opened up, so go ahead and find the environment you saved. It doesn't matter what it looks like. And then go ahead and set up a spot to land. So I set kind of this hill sideways, whatever, to land. So you use the sculpt geometry tool and the polygons here. See the sculpt geometry, and you set it to pull. So you double click on this guy, and you can set it to pull and pull up, this guy flat somewhat. Yeah, so set it flat, or you can land it in the corner, or whatever you want to do. And then now we're going to import it. So what you're going to do is go File, Import, and then what you're going to look for is Desktop, and then you're going to look for, what was it, Polygon Spaceship Import. Okay, then what you're going to do is go to Window, Outliner, and find that Polygon Spaceship. Okay, it's down there. There it is. Alright, so there's our polygon spaceship, and this is without color. So actually, let's delete this guy. Close this. Go File, Import, and find your polygon spaceship that is smooth and colored. And then, where'd the outliner go? I guess I closed it. Okay. So here he is, and then now what we're going to do is we're going to test fit it in to that spot there. Huh. I guess I didn't save it when it was colored or something, or I colored it a darker color or something. Okay, so, oh yeah, I did color a couple parts. Alright, so that looks like that should do. So that's what we're going to have it do. Alright, so now what we're going to do is let's go ahead and go into the curve and just do an EP curve tool. And what you're going to do is have it come from this way and then have it circle around. And then come in. Now, don't worry about oops. Don't worry about where it's actually at. So go here and go display hide selection. So hide that guy. And then what we're going to want to do is go back to that control vertex. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take it, and you're just going to move it to where this guy's at. But what you're going to do is go ahead and grab the whole curve, and you're going to need to shift it up. So now he's actually circling around. See how it's pretty flat? So let's go ahead and go back to the curve vertex, and I'm right clicking to get into that if you could remember. So let's go ahead and do a roll type thing, and let's make these guys drop down quite a bit. So here I'm modifying the curve in order to get the type of thing that I want. So just go ahead and just rough it out. And then you could go ahead and use this guy to do whatever you want with the curve. So here, let's say, for example, it did a flip or something like that, and then came and landed right there. So let's say it's got a thruster on the bottom or whatever, because I'm going to see if I can move this guy back. Let me move this control vertex back. Where's the other one? Oh, there it is. Oh, that's the one I was just messing with. So that looks about right. So let's have it come in a little bit higher. Like so. Alright. So now what we're going to do is, what you have to do is go ahead and go to display, show, say all. This guy comes back, and you notice that we're kind of where we want it to be. Let's go ahead and move this guy right to where the spaceship's at. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get the spaceship and move him back to where our curve is starting. Pretty close to where it starts. You don't have to be exact where it is, but you get the idea. Okay, now get the spaceship and select the curve. Then you're going to go to animation, and then you're going to do a animate, and you're going to tell it to motion path and say attach to motion path, and then go ahead and click on the box. And now you might need to mess with a couple things and make it you could set it to the time slider, or you could tell it to start and end at certain frames, and you're going to tell it to attach. See, now right there, right from the start, we got it working correctly. But if you see there, basically what happens is he goes up this thing and he might flip. Oh no, he doesn't. Whoa, that's weird. Yeah, so what we would do next time is we would make it, well, we would probably do it in more frames. Okay, so let's do Control Z through that, and right when you're doing that, go ahead and boost up to like 600 frames. And go ahead and pull the time slider all the way out. So you say, this is a 30-second animation, right? 60 frame, let's say 600 frames, 30 frames per second. It's 20 seconds. So we're going to do 20 seconds, and let's go ahead and reattach that. So what we're going to do is going to go animate, and we're going to do motion path, attach to motion path, and that's perfectly fine what we did there. And now this guy works. Sort of. Right? He comes in and crashes. Another thing is what we'll go over later is how to do 2-node animation. So that means that you're doing an animation, that you're doing a follow a motion path, and then let's say we have it come and land. So that's a 2-node animation. So let's go ahead and play through it. And that's still pretty quick because, like I said, not very many things on scene. Now, what we could do is, let's say I wanted to frame this inside my viewport there. So let's go here to the render settings and go ahead and set this to full 1080p, and keep all that, and go Maya software and go to production quality, turn on ray tracing, and then what we're gonna do is just do create light, ambient light. Let's put that guy up there somewhere. And then what we're going to do is go ahead and go into channel attribute editor and drop the intensity to like that. And then go ahead and reframe the whole thing. Try to get the whole thing in. And then just do a test render. So that's not bad. None of these are smooth, so it's going to be like that. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to make a file out of this, how to do a test. So what you could do is you could do a window, and here is a Playblast. So basically what it does is it uses its recording software to basically record your viewport. So it will record your viewport and store it as a file. So let's say display size from render settings, and then scale 50%, frame padding, it needs to be 4:3, whatever. And then so what we're going to do is we're going to save this to the desktop, and we're going to call this test flight. And we're going to save this to the desktop, and we're going to save this here. So now it's saving to the desktop. And format AVI, Just leave the encoding how it is and scale 40% or whatever. Playblast it. And you see now that it definitely slowed down a lot, and it's also having some problems in some places. But you're going to wait till it's finished here because it's also doing ray tracing. Well, it's not. I guess the ray tracing technically doesn't matter because you're not ray tracing inside of the actual Playblast. So if you want, so this is like something that you would have if you were animating and you wanted to show your friends or show anybody else that's working on the project something that you are working on or whatever. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Oops. VLC. And here is the render. And of course, this is rendering out the viewport. So, you know, it's not super high quality, but this is what most people use that use Maya to get a good idea of what it is. I mean, there is another way to do a full rendering, and that way is a little bit different as you need to render out all the images and then put it back together. So this is the quick way to, you know, run it and see what it would look like. So that is actually 30, that isn't necessarily what you would see if you render it, because when you render it, it's going to give you a certain number of frames. However many frames these are, it's going to render it out. So basically what's going to happen is it renders it out, and then you pick in your editing software how many frames per second you want to use. So what you do is you go all the way through, you step all the way through it in your viewport, and then you render it out and see, you know, what it looks like. And that's pretty close to what the actual speed is going to be. So this is pretty close. Well, I mean, you could speed it up, slow it down. See, like I said, it's 25 seconds. So it's slowed down somewhere in here. But it should be around, you know, 30 frames per second. So that we had 600 frames, so that's 20 seconds. Alright, so that is it for this tutorial series, and we will continue animating in the next one, and we'll continue on from there. So this has been Steven from LegitTechTutorials. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe for more videos like it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Peace.